Hey guys, thought I would, excuse me, start a little stream here. Just want to throw something out there. If you guys haven't heard it yet, there's a rally slash protest, whichever way you want to look at it. And this is on February the 23rd. It's supposed to be at all state capitals. How well this will turn out, I don't know. But it's a rally basically to let Congress and everybody else know that we want the wall, you know, to urge them to vote for it, to get this done, build it, whatever it takes. And also as a protest of we're not a fan of Congress. You know, sick of everything that they're doing, playing games and acting like a bunch of 2-year-olds. So that's what's going on the 23rd. I don't know if I'll be able to make the one in my state, but if not, then I'm at least going to try to live stream whatever's going on around the country. How well this will turn out, I really don't know, but there's a chance at least that it could do some good. Let me fix the title of that. Should be 2019, not 1019. But thought I would kind of throw that out there and let everybody know what was going on. I know it's an odd time of the morning for me to go live, but not really much else going on, and figured it was as good a time as any. It's been a little slow lately. Hasn't really been any protests or unrest of any sort, so there hasn't been much to really live stream as of lately. If something kicks off, then I'll be sure to do a live stream. Now, as soon as I can get a little bit more information, I will do a video or a stream, one of the two, on the 2019 gun control bills that the Democrats have got floating around. Feinstein has one, not a lot of details out, but it says over 220 plus guns will be named that they want to ban. They say, oh, it'll be okay because you can still keep everything you currently own, but we know how that goes. If they can get something banned, then they're going to take what you've already got one way or another. So, just kind of giving a little update on what's been going on and whatnot. Not really a whole lot, like I said, but just kind of letting everybody know that I'm still keeping an eye on what's going on to the best I can. Just been slow and kind of boring, to say the least. I know we've only got about 5 people here or so, but if anybody's got anything they want to chime in or suggestions for the channel going in, for the new year or whatever, feel free to, throw it out there. I'm always open to suggestions of any kind, good, bad, or otherwise. But like I say, I don't really think I'll have a chance to go to the rally in my state. Without transportation, it can be a little rough. But I'll do what I can, at least to try to live stream something or whatever. I'm sure there will be coverage out there. Facebook's made it a little rough as they took away their live map. They still have their live, videos, but no more maps. So it's hard to find anything. The US map always made it pretty nice. You didn't have to know titles or anything, just find a location and there you go. But they don't want to do that anymore, so they got rid of all that. If anybody's a fan of Bob Ross, the painter that was popular, well, still popular on Twitch and places like that. But I spent, crazy to even say this, but I spent a year to put a video together, a Bob Ross video. So if anybody ever wants to check it out, I'll put the link in the chat. It's a little compilation I put together, but editing takes forever, to say the least. But yeah, I've been doing, the best I can from here. I mean, I get comments from a lot of people, friends, family, that kind of thing, saying we shouldn't get involved, or once we elect these politicians, then let them do their job and kind of abide by whatever happens. But no, I don't agree. Yeah, we got to vote, obviously, but you can do a whole lot more than that. Call your representatives, call them as much as you can. Emails. I know you can get with other groups. I just joined Ohio Gun Owners, and there's other organizations as well that will send you like automated emails that you can send out to your congressmen and other senators, whatnot. Those are all well and good, and I use them. But I always add my own comments in at the beginning. One, to get my personal point across, and two, to try to avoid their filters. Because once they get bombarded with them canned responses, they know how to shut them off. Well, I know there's only 6 people here right now, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. I got my UFO website. I don't know how many of you have checked it out or not, but it's pretty neat. I got a video I just embedded on it, which I had just found, actually. The actual radio broadcast of the Roswell event. It's only a couple minutes, but it's kind of neat, though. I'll put the link to my site here in the chat, but one reason I want to mention the website is I need some help. Site and everything's running fine. Problem is, it's costing me a little more than I can throw out there at the moment. And Wix is where I got it hosted at. I should change it at some point, but that's a topic for another day. But as of right now, in order to renew my website for another year, it's going to cost me $150. Ouch. It was only half that last year. Well, I had a discount code. So, if anybody, I know there's only a few of us here, but if anybody can pitch in a few bucks to try to help me keep this thing going, I would greatly appreciate it. I think I've got till the end of February to actually renew it, but I hate to lose my website just because I'm short on cash, but I'll do what I have to. I've got links in the description, but I'll post one of them in the chat anyway. Well, they're popping along the bottom of the screen. But the best way to actually ever donate to the channel is my PayPal account. They don't hit me for any kind of fees or anything. At least none that I've ever been aware of. So if anybody could actually help me out with that, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if you do, put your name in the your YouTube name in the comments, and that way I can thank you. I don't want to give out anybody's real names or anything, but yeah, Sandwich, I'm going over a few things. Got a Trump, a nationwide Trump rally coming up on the 23rd of February. It's at all the state capitals. I'm going to try my best to live stream it, because I'm sure I won't be able to make the one here. That's the big thing. But what I was also mentioning was my website, which is running fine. Still getting reports here and there. Everything's going great with that. But I need $150 to renew it for another year that I don't have. So I didn't know if anybody could like I say, drop a nickel my way and try to help me out so that I can renew this thing. Yeah, I don't know. Trump's made some comments that he's willing to keep it closed, you know, for the rest of his presidency if need be. That comment's been thrown around. So I don't know. Would he actually go that far? I don't know, but you know, as everybody should know, I've been a Trump supporter and all of that, but I've been chastised, I guess you would say, for some of my comments about Trump lately on other streams and other places, and I really don't care, but one thing has me worried. Well, a couple things. First thing that worries me is how he's acted as far as the Second Amendment goes. Getting rid of bump stocks and talking about the red flag, no due process, that kind of thing. So he's not been a huge Second Amendment supporter. And that's what's got me nervous. Granted, these things he's already done, they're being challenged in court and this, that, and the other. But what I'm afraid of is, and this is possible, no matter what anyone wants to say, people say it's not, but whatever. He is so dead set on the wall, which I'm fine with. We need the wall. Great. What scares me is this. If anything comes up that you hear of where the Democrats are going to agree to fund the wall, that's what has me scared. Because I look at it this way. Well, what I'm worried about is this, Nikki. Democrats come up and say, Trump, you want your wall, your barrier, whatever. Well, here's a list of guns that we want you to ban. Or to put heavy restrictions on. Do that and we'll fund the wall. That's what has me scared. Not scared, but concerned. It's very possible. You know, we should be getting every Second Amendment thing we wanted. You know, all of it. I don't know if he would or not. I really don't know. I hope he wouldn't. But you know, I don't see him going around and banning your Remington 870 or your Mossberg 500. You know, those are the kind of guns the NRA likes. There are a lot of FUDs in that organization. You know, like Elmer Fudd. So, excuse me. So, if he would put out some different types of guns, like your AR-15s or, you know, your scary stuff, you know, that kind of thing. Exactly, he's not playing games. He wants the wall. And if that's a way he can get the wall, he might go for it. I mean, I don't know if he will or not. I sure hope he wouldn't. But a lot of what he's been doing, though, I will say, is he's been basically told to do so by the NRA. They're pulling strings when it comes to the gun stuff. He's already losing support. Getting rid of due process has already got at least one man in Maryland killed. Cops gunned him down in the early morning hours because he wouldn't give up his firearms. And he had no idea why they were even there. And then come to find out, I believe it was his aunt that called it in anyway, ended up saying that he wasn't a bad guy anyhow. So, it's that kind of crazy mess. Marco Rubio just reintroduced red flag gun confiscation laws a couple days ago. So he's trying to shove that through. And Trump will sign it because he's already said he's in favor of it. So that's a scary thing. So, if you see anything that comes up, like I said, to where the Democrats are willing to fund the wall, or even part of it, you got to really wonder of... The NRA's been this way for years. They have passed or helped pass every gun control law we have. Jenna, you can go clear back to the 30s when the NFA was enacted to ban, your short-barreled rifles, shotguns, your silencers, that kind of thing. NRA done all that. Nix background checks. That's an NRA deal. The Hughes Amendment in '86 with Reagan. They urged him to pass it. And, that banned all machine guns made after May 17th, I believe, of '86. They said, go ahead, Mr. Reagan, pass that. That way they'll be off your case. We'll fight it in court and get rid of it. They never once took it to court. And it's very simple to see why they do this. If there's no crisis, no gun control stuff floating around, they'll go out of business. They won't get any money. We wouldn't be dealing with this bump stock mess if they'd have kept their mouth shut. But no, they want to say ban the bump stocks and then put out all these emails of, oh, we need money to overturn this bump stock ban. Well, if you guys would have kept your nose out of it, we wouldn't be here. I dropped my membership. Well, I was in the process of becoming a life member and I canceled it. I'm still officially a member, but I'm not giving them a dime. And as I've mentioned on other streams, the day I done that, and I explained to them everything I just said here of why I was getting rid of them, they actually asked me for a parting donation of $50. I said, are you kidding? I just told you why I don't agree with anything you guys are doing or stand for, and you want me to give you money? She got all the way down to $5, and that's when I just hung the phone up. I'm not giving them people a dime. That's stabbing your own self. That's ridiculous. Now, I will admit, a few years back, I did go to an NRA, the annual meeting, they call it, and that was cool, though. Seeing all those firearms on display and all that, but... No, I hadn't seen that petition, but I'll take a look at it. Because there is a law still on the books. It was from don't quote me on this, but I think it's 57. And it actually is a standing law that bans Muslims from being in Congress. But, laws aren't really followed much anymore anyway, so. But yeah, married her brother. Yeah, I'm aware of some of her story. Enough of it anyway. Put it that way. It's ridiculous, but... And it's very obvious what these people are doing. I don't care what the left says. Couldn't care less. Problem is... excuse me. I don't know, the left, they see things totally and completely different. It should be obvious to anybody that if you're coming from another country, anywhere in the world, doesn't matter. If you're coming from somewhere else over here for a supposed better life, then wouldn't you think you would want to kind of mingle with the rest of us and not be trying to turn it into what you ran away from? That's my kind of thing, If I got to run away from a problem, well, I'm not going to take my new home and turn it into what I'm running from. That's the whole thing. That proves it right there. Now, you want to see something funny now. The left is like, madder than a wet hen over this, but it's still funny as can be, though. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And this is from Trump earlier today. And I still laugh though. But this is the Elizabeth Warren video that was out, but most of us have seen that. But Trump says, I still laugh though, he's a good troll. If Elizabeth Warren offered, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself, says, if Elizabeth Warren, often referred to by me as Pocahontas, did this commercial from Bighorn or Wounded Knee instead of her kitchen with her husband dressed in full Indian garb, it would have been a smash. And then shortly after, oh man, this was the best one though. He says, best line in the Elizabeth Warren beer catastrophe is to her husband, thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. It's their house. He's supposed to be there. I mean, that's just comical. I mean, the left is all like, you know, wanting to crucify him for being a racist or all this mess, but, you know, I don't care. It's just straight funny. Hey, the government shut down. They don't want to talk to him anyway. Let the guy blow off some steam and have some fun. What the heck? She's the one that tried to make herself out to be some Native American because she got high cheekbones or some crazy mess. I don't know. But funny nonetheless. But yeah, like I say, there's the rally / protest coming up on the 23rd, I do believe. Let me find it here. I got it here somewhere. There we go. Protect the wall. It's a rally to build the wall and a protest of everything Congress and all them idiots up there are doing. So it's a double thing. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a little early morning stream, throw some stuff out there. Wasn't much going on, you know, right at the moment anyhow. But like I said, though, you know, I hate to even come straight out and ask. I mean, donations and stuff I always like, you know, always help out the channel and whatnot. But, you know, when it comes to something like this, I kind of hate to actually ask. But nonetheless, like I said, I've got till the end of February, but I need to raise $150. Or my UFO reporting center will be shut down till I can come up with the funds. So that makes it a little rough. Of course the standoff's not about the wall, it's just about Trump. You know, it doesn't matter what he does. You know, he could come up with a cure to cure cancer or, you know, anything. It doesn't matter. You know, they won't go for it. They do not like him that much. Doesn't matter. He could come up with anything. And they would vote it down in a heartbeat. Excuse me. That shows how straight evil of a group that they actually are. You know, there's been a lot of presidents over the years that people haven't liked, including Congress, but a lot of times they look at the issues, look what's going on, and they think, well, I really don't like this guy, but, you know, this particular instance is best for the country, so I guess I'll go along with it. Still don't mean I like him or approve everything, but, you know, this is the best thing to do, so let's do it. And, you know, they don't see it that way. They just straight hate, hate, hate. And there's no other way to put it. Kind of is what it is, I guess. I mean, I don't really see anything changing it. I don't know. JFK Jr., I don't know. There's been so many things going on with everybody nowadays. It's hard to form a solid opinion on a lot of people anymore. People flip around and, you know, change their minds on stuff so often that I hate to go out and give a whole lot of opinions on, you know, a lot of people anyway. Stuff sounds good at one point, next minute, you know, something else throws a wrench into your ideas. But, you know, there is a problem with Trump supporters. And this will be, you know, the thing. And this is what I've ran into. I've been told numerous times that Trump is the best thing ever, and we're supposed to follow him blindly, never question, never look into it, just agree with him 110%, and let him run everything and be done with it. Don't question, don't look into it, don't research it, nothing. And I don't agree with that. And there's even some going so far as to say that we need to make a petition to put Trump in for a life term. Make him like an emperor or something. Give him full power. And no. You know, I'm not going to blindly follow anybody. I don't care who it is. You can be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I'm still not going to blindly follow you. And if something comes around that I don't agree with, I'm going to say so. Will it make any difference? Probably not. I'm one dude with a YouTube channel, you know. But if I got something to say, I'm going to say it. Plain and simple. But yeah, I've looked into the whole the Kennedy thing, Kennedy assassination, and of course that was before my time, but that's definitely an interesting thing to look into. Something that'll never be solved, you know, kind of like 9/11 and other things, but all of those things are definitely interesting, to say the least. But yeah, if anybody's got anything to add or something you'd like me to start doing on the channel that maybe I haven't, or change or whatever, you know. Yeah, I've heard about that, the whole 9/11 thing, yeah. That sounds good, but I don't know how far it'll go. I could see some in Congress or higher up people, you know, trying to say, oh, in interest of national security, we can't really talk about a lot, and so much evidence will be suppressed that even if they have just like a normal jury trial type thing, that they really won't have any evidence to look at anyway. Because, you know, look at what Hillary did, you know, destroying all of her emails and servers. Well, you can bet a lot of 9/11 stuff's going to disappear as well. Yeah, Bush is dead, of course, yeah. But there's still a lot of people that don't want things said. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money and things off of that, and they don't want found out. I mean, Bush was a big key role. I mean, look at, you know, Bush, you know, Jr. there. He was down in Florida reading books. But what a lot of people don't know is Bush Sr., the one that just died, he was at the White House that day. Didn't have no business being there, but he was there. And there's all kind of crazy stuff, you know, as far as that goes. Now, I would like to see an actual case on it, but how far it'll get, I don't know. I mean, it puts me in mind of, the Warren Commission type of thing for when Kennedy was shot. There really wasn't, that was just a quick cover-up to give the public something, kind of a false thing, but the 9/11 thing can be very similar. That's like trying to be on a jury for a murder trial of somebody, but you're not allowed to see any evidence. Then what good is it? You can't have a trial based off of just your thoughts. You got to have some kind of evidence. I don't think so. Not completely. Because if anybody tries to put out the true information, they're going to be added to something similar to the Clinton body count. Government should be transparent, but they won't. Now, I understand in some instances there's things everybody don't need to know right away. I understand that. But on most of these issues, we got a right to know what's going on. There are legit national security things, or, when they've got stuff in the works to, like military type stuff. It's as live as it can be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Or, well, close enough. I don't know what, if it'll ever get to that point, but we actually need like a 1776 part 2. Rise up, take it over. But the problem with even that is, if we took it over, is anybody going to really know what to do with it once they get it? That's another thing too. Yeah, I've never messed with the Premiere. I kind of like the Premiere, though. I do like that. I've never actually done it, but I like it, though. A lot of people don't, but I do, because you can put up a video and chat with people, but you don't have to fool with the video. You can just let it run, and makes it kind of neat. A live chat on a pre-recorded video. But, as crazy as this may sound, though, and I've mentioned this as far as gun issues and all kind of other, big issues, is this. Look at the left. You got Moms Demand Action, all these other groups, whatnot. I know they're financed and they got money, but, even counting that aside, for the most part, the left is fairly organized. It may not look like it on these live streams, but they can mobilize fast. And people on the right, I know everybody says, oh, I got jobs, or I got this, I got that. But, all that aside, people on the right, a lot of times, don't stand up for anything. I hate to say it, but it's true. We had a pro-gun rally here last spring that I went to. And, a lot of people that I tried to get to go made every excuse in the world why they couldn't attend. And, the left, they don't hold back. They go for it, full force. Here's our issues, whatever. Well, Sean Nova, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've mentioned it yourself. You go to these type of events, all the people want to do is stand around and have a good time, a social event. Where are we going to go for drinks after this is over? Or, they're looking to start a barbecue, or, you come back and people's asking if you bought souvenirs or, that is not what these events are for. They're not carnivals or street fairs or anything. I know we can't go to every event every time, but there's enough people on the right that, we should at least be able to match numbers with the left. Or something. It's just, there's no excuse. I try to bring stuff out to as many people as I can. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. I do have transportation issues to get a lot of places. But if I can't be there, then I'm going to broadcast what's there and get it out to as many people as possible to at least spread the message of the event. I'm going to do something. I don't want to sit back and ever think that, man, we lost our rights, and if I would have done one more phone call or one more email, maybe it could have been the straw that, changed the tide. You never know. It could have tipped the scale. You just don't know. But you got to do something. The left sure don't, like I said, they don't hold back on anything. And I hear the same excuse too is, I don't want to get involved. What will people think if they see me at a rally? Or what will my neighbors think about me? And all that kind of stuff. And, you got to get to the point to who cares what people thinks. I don't totally agree that the left and right's the same. It's just the problem is you got too many fakes. Just like in Congress and stuff, you got a lot of fake Republicans out there. There's some legit GOP diehard Republicans that would do everything in their power, possible to do what's right for this country. But there's so many fakes and rhinos and all whatever name you want to give them in there, that's what makes it hard. Kind of like giving a bad name to the legit people, just like the idiot gun owners that are out there to give all the rest of us a bad name. Same idea. We're just all suppressed so much that, it's hard to get any true, legit info out. It's a sad state of affairs when even the president has to use something like Twitter to get his point across because he doesn't have anywhere else he can really use. At least there he can say what he wants. Well, the main problem with Congress, and I've always thought this, is 99.9% of the laws and stuff they pass never affects them. And that's a huge issue. That's the biggest issue of all. Well, Jenna, I agree to a point, but the problem with that even is, would it turn into state-run media like, a lot of other countries have that is not a good thing? Yeah, like North Korea. Now, if the White House put out their own media on top of all the other media, then I say that's fine. That's great. If they want to just add another channel to the lineup, White House News or whatever, I'm all for that. But you have to give people a choice of what to listen to. Even if it's the dumbest, most ridiculous mess out there, that's one of our rights, is to have a choice on that kind of stuff. But yeah, if they want to completely do their own thing, that's great. Well, he's already said he's a fan of DACA, so take that for what it's worth. But that goes both ways, Rooster. And you can look at it one of two ways. He could do that, backstab all of his supporters because he don't care about getting reelected. Or he can go full on just, madman like the Trump that we elected. That kind of energy. And tell all the Democrats, screw you, I'm going to do anything I want, whether you like it or not. I can't get reelected anyway. So I'm just going to do it, and you don't like it, go pound sand. So he can go full extreme either way, because re-election and his days in politics will be done. So, you can look at it either way, but I hate to say this, Jenna, but I've thought this recently. As crazy as the left is getting more and more, I could see somebody taking a shot at him. He's got a flaw that Kennedy even had. He's out in public with, in not every case, but in a lot of cases, he's out in public giving talks and stuff with relatively no protection. He's not always behind a bulletproof or bullet-resistant, shield or, anything to that sort. It puts me in mind of Kennedy, riding through, in the car. Somebody pop a shot off. I could definitely see that happening. Now, there's been people that's tried different things already, but, and, the left is not all anti-scared of guns as people think they are. They're anti-you having a gun, plain and simple. There's some die-hard liberals out there that I wouldn't be afraid to bet are some pretty good marksmen. So it could happen. Now my prediction, of course I've got nothing to base this on, but I've had a feeling that between now and Valentine's Day, we're going to have another mass shooting. It's been a little while, and Democrats in power now, well, in the House or whatever, we get another mass shooting somewhere, shoot, they'll be running gun bills through left and right. Now, I don't know if it'll be a school or what, who knows, but I think between now and Valentine's Day, and that's a month away. Well, false flag, either way, still a shooting though, either way. Hey, even a false flag, people end up dead. So it's still a mass shooting even if it's a false flag. It's not a hoax. There is a difference. False flags will still get a lot of people killed. Only difference is a false flag doesn't happen for the reason they want you to believe. A hoax didn't happen at all. So there is a difference. But I don't know. In this crazy world, nothing surprises me. Not a thing. Nobody wants to take responsibility for a thing. And we're pretty much charged for the air we breathe now, but when Democrats get done with it, we will be. All those carbon taxes and all that mess they're wanting to throw at us, that's basically paying for your air. But I don't know. Like I say, it's definitely a mess. And it's going to be just as much of a mess whether Trump gets reelected or he doesn't. It's still going to be, even worse than it is now either way. Now, if Democrats get fully in power and take the White House, things may not, I don't know, might not be quite as violent maybe, because they won't need to be. They'll just destroy the country overnight and be done with it. Because nobody else seems to want to rise up and stop it. But like I've said before, unless there's an event that takes place of some sort that affects every single American at the exact same time, then nothing will change. Look at 9/11. That was a big event, but most people's lives stayed the same that day. Now, if you lived right there in New York, or whatever, sure, everything was a mess, but most people carried on same routine. So you got to have something that's going to affect everybody at the same time. And until that type of event happens, everybody's just going to say, well, that just like people do with gun laws. Oh, that's New York, that's California. They're all crazy out there, blah, 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 whatever. Same mindset. No one cares because it don't affect them. Now, if they would say, all right, at noon tomorrow, we're going to go to every household in America and make you hand over your guns, well, that would do it. Something on that kind of a scale. Large scale, affect everybody simultaneous. Then you might see a change, but otherwise, not going to happen. It could be any kind of a catastrophe. Ice Age, very possible. It's hard to say. Ice Age is a lot more believable than global warming, that's for sure. I've watched a lot of videos and stuff on that of how early different places around the world have reported snowfalls. Some places all the way back to like August, when normally it's nice weather and they were getting snow. Yeah, there was an app. It's not out anymore. It got pulled, but there was an app floating around for a while that you could download, And like if you went to someone's house and you knew they had a gun, then you could put their address or flag them on the app. Then if anybody, had the app turned on and was in that neighborhood, it would show all the houses that, had guns or whatever. Big mess. Yeah, watch them kitchen knives, man. Them bad things. If you was over in Europe, man, they'd make you file it down. Yeah, the same, I thought it was kind of funny, but the same app designer that made the gun app thing, he had another one out that, and you'd have to be a complete idiot to use it. Even dumber than the gun app was they had a drug version. And what it was for was you turned it on and you walk through your neighborhood and look at your phone and it would show you, oh, the red house on the corner sells heroin. Well, the greenhouse down at the other end of the street also sells heroin, but today they're $5 cheaper. So it was showing you all the drug houses around and giving you prices so you could comparison shop. That was the craziest thing. But of course it's been taken down too, but yeah, I looked into that 5G thing. That's pretty freaky. But yeah, people dumb enough to use those kind of apps, though. Comical, but just shows you how dumb people are. I'm surprised they didn't try to come up with discount codes for your dealer. But yeah, like I say, this was just kind of a spur of the moment stream thing. Really wasn't much to it, but yeah, Groupon caught Dopon. Yeah, that 5G thing's bad. I've seen where it killed like a bunch of birds or something over in Europe where they tested it in this one area. And all other wildlife was having issues because it's the first wavelength or spectrum, whatever they call it, that can penetrate your skin. Bad deal. And it's short range, so they got to pop up a whole lot more towers and different things. You won't really be able to escape it even if you don't use it. Yeah, bees, all kinds of stuff. Throw off like migration patterns and animals and crazy stuff. I mean, a lot of that type of stuff I think has good intended purposes in the beginning. But once other people find out about it and figure out other ways to use it, because that's what, governments do. All governments around the world have agencies that take every form of technology we have and try to figure out how to weaponize it. And weaponizing the weather would make you unstoppable. I mean, if you could create storms or move hurricanes and things, man, nobody could touch you. Those storms got more energy than all the bombs and bullets that we've ever had. Excuse me. But there's not a whole lot more, like I say, going on at the moment, guys. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. But before I do, though, I'll ask one last time, though. If anybody can help me out. You know, I hate to actually ask like this, but I got to do what I got to do. I'm $150 is what I need to renew my UFO website that's on the screen there. If anybody can help me out with a donation that I can put towards it, I would greatly appreciate it. I've got a few weeks before it's actually due, but I'd really like to keep my site running. I've had it going for a couple years and had some pretty good success with it. Gets very busy at times. Of course, it's dead at other times too, but that's nature of the subject. But if anybody, like I say, can help me out, hit me up over on PayPal. I'll throw the link in here again. And leave me your YouTube name in the little comment section. That way I can give you a shout out and say thanks and all that. Because I don't want to give out anybody's real names or any of that kind of stuff. But I would definitely appreciate the help. I don't get any ads or any money whatsoever from Google anymore, and that's what I used to use to pay for this renewal thing every year, but I'm not allowed to have those kind of ads anymore, so they took that right away from me. Or privilege or whatever. So it is what it is. But I am glad I got my Bob Ross video done. That was a nightmare and a half. I'm glad I done it. You know, I wanted to get it completed, but man, I thought that thing would take me like a week tops. And I spent a year on it off and on. That was something else. I've got a couple hundred views or so on it so far. It's only been done for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Something like that. But interesting video nonetheless. If you're a fan of him. Yeah, I gotta take off myself, guys. Like I said, this was just kind of the spur of the moment thing, so take it easy, guys. Have a good rest of your day or evening, night, whatever. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next stream. I appreciate it, guys.